Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotion, and thank you again so much for our time together. It's a beautiful Monday morning. God is with you. He's promised to never fail you, to never forsake you. His eye is always watching over you. His eyes roam to and fro throughout the whole earth to strongly support those whose heart is fully His. Remember that truth today. Right now, I want us to get into the book of Luke, chapter 17. Luke 17, beginning with verse 30. Jesus says, "It will be just like this on the day the Son of Man is revealed. On that day, no one who is on the roof of his house with his goods inside should go down to get them. Likewise, no one in the field should go back to get anything. Remember Lot's wife." Now, that's the only phrase I want us to see today. Remember Lot's wife. Now, isn't it fascinating to me how people want to chop up the Bible and say, we don't have to live this part, but we do have to live that part. We don't have to live this part. We don't have to live that part. There are people today that actually teach that we don't have to obey what Jesus said because Jesus was under the law. Well, brothers and sisters, I want you to see a very simple principle that Jesus was teaching people. And please don't tell me that Jesus was under the law. He is the personification of grace. He is the God of all grace. He looks at people and said, remember Lot's wife. Now the principle is this. Those Old Testament stories should have an effect upon our thinking. Those Old Testament stories should have an effect upon our decisions. Those Old Testament stories should have an effect on how we live our life today. Now, enough of this chopping the Bible up and this picking and choosing what we want to live and what we don't want to live and excuse ourselves by saying that's not relevant to. Enough of that. We have a Bible. God has never changed. God says, I'm the Lord, I do not change. Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Salvation has always been because of the grace of God. Salvation has always been by faith. There's not multiple plans of salvation and multiple gods, and God's personality did not change between the book of Malachi and Matthew. God's personality did not change again and change all the rules between the end of the book of John and the book of Acts. I mean, the ludicrousness of people in their pseudo-intelligence trying to tell us you don't have to live that portion because Jesus was under the law, so you don't have to pay attention to what Jesus said anymore. Excuse me? The Great Commission says we are to go into all the world and teach everything Jesus said. How can someone stand and tell you not to do what Jesus said? Now, my only thought to you today is, would you pick up your Bible and read the whole thing and live it? And quit looking for excuses on, I don't have to live that, and just live the Bible.